Welcome everyone to the Compass Early Learning and Care 2020 Annual Report. Adversity introduces us to ourselves. In 2020, we lived this quote from Albert Einstein. Never before had we had an opportunity to demonstrate our values over and over and over. From the moment we heard the news that we were about to be shut down, we were faced with difficult decisions. Would we lay off our team members? Or would we keep them on payroll and demonstrate our organizational values? It was a resounding keep everyone on payroll from our board of directors, our links, and our leads team.
We always made sure to keep our values top of mind, and our approach to finances was no exception. Some of the financial related initiatives we were proud to celebrate include financial stability for our Compass CELC team, such as not having to lay off during closures or times of decreased enrollment, increasing sick time allocations, and acknowledging that staff and home childcare providers went above and beyond by recognizing them with pandemic pay. We also provided our families support by holding their spaces and not charging for COVID-related absences from September onwards. This was all made possible by financial support from our municipal partners, provincial and federal government initiatives, and a prudent financial plan, including the use of our reserves at times when funding was uncertain.
And being at home did not mean being idle. For some, it meant being at home with their young children and caring for them. That was important, and that was enough. For others, it meant supporting and participating in a robust professional learning program. For others, it meant a change in venue as their work continued from home offices. And for some courageous educators, it meant working in the emergency childcare programs, serving essential workers who were working in hospitals, health units, and other essential services. Program teams quickly began to connect with families, asking how they were, reading stories to children, collecting activity kits and delivering them, creating videos of their teams, and much, much more.
We stayed connected with the children and families and community through donations to the food bank and hospital, weekly Zoom meetings with stories, songs, dancing, and conversations, video emails, personal mailings of cards and notes, and social distance visits to deliver activities to the children. It was wonderful to receive videos and notes back from the families. The staff continued to embrace virtual connections with many old and new families.
And it was hard at times, and it still is. But we were creative, we were brave, and we were persistent. If something didn't work, we would come together and think about what else. I will always hold dear the answer to the question we asked our teams. What do you remember most about the shutdown? And the answer was, we were closer than ever before, and yet we were apart.
While engaging with the children and our teammates, we remember the importance of lending our calm as we are the weather in the room. This has allowed us to become more present and more intentional in the moment.
We continue to create opportunities to build deeper connections and see the true resiliency and strengths in the children and each other. We have become more vulnerable, helping us focus more on engagement with parallel practice to reflect upon and strengthen our culture. This pandemic has empowered us to recognize the importance of well-being and holding each other up.
Highlights of 2020 during the shutdown were the rally for thanking the emergency child care teams, the rally for appropriate funding to keep our programs viable and our staff employed, seeing our classrooms devoid of soft plush toys and carpets and yet so full of joy and love and learning.
Put out a call to our community, asking them to join us in a safe car train to show support and gratitude for the childcare heroes who were working inside our emergency childcare programs across the province. These brave humans were caring for children of frontline and essential workers. We were amazed at the support. More than 150 cars from many different communities filled the parking lot at St. Peter's High School. The cars were filled with children, pets, family members, and supporters. They were decorated with signs of appreciation and thankfulness. People were playing music, singing, throwing virtual hugs and high fives. Honks and cheering could be heard for miles as people drove past the children and down Medical Drive. There was so much joy this day.
In July, when we reopened our programs, and in September, when new regulations came out requiring the wearing of masks and face shields, we continued to ask the question, How do we create environments consistent with our values and consistent with what children deserve?
The secret is we have a tree in front of the daycare where we usually have our fire drill, and that tree has a hole, and she hid nature elements like pebbles and all kinds of stuff, and she told me that's her secret hideaway. So she told me because she knew I valued it. And that's how she grew up in my classroom, that she knew I valued nature. So all of the children valued nature because of that.
And we demonstrated that masks and face shields do not diminish our relationship with children and families, that we can create spaces that are worthy of our children, even in a pandemic. Thank you to each and every one of the Compass team for your bravery, your determination, and your creativity. You have made 2020 into something remarkable, an inspiration. Thank you to our board of directors for your leadership and for your support throughout 2020 and ongoing into this year. Albert Einstein was right. In 2020, we were introduced to ourselves, and that kind of like us.
Our organization has been exploring the use of diverted waste materials as loose parts for children's play. Over the past 2 years, the Materials Initiative has been coordinating the collection of secondhand plastics and a host of other materials from businesses, residents, and industry, and upcycling them at our atelier space for use in our classrooms. In our collection, there was a large amount of cotton fabric and thread. When we received the call, Compass was ready and eager to provide for our community by donating it to a local volunteer group who turned the materials into thousands of essential face masks for frontline workers in need.
When we sit and think about 2020 and what we worked through that entire year, we have so much gratitude for the team that we work with, everyone coming together and thinking about how we can hold each other up and move forward. Also the connection that everybody had with families and with each other, and the commitment to the program.
We also think about the passion that we have for the work that we do with children. We were off for 4 months, and I know that everybody was really itching to get back into the program and to see the families and see the children. This really just shows how much joy we have for this work that we do. We are also really incredibly thankful for this organization, as they have lifted us up through these tough times, and we really just couldn't be more appreciative to work with such amazing people.
Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Melody Beatty.